Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Wise Tips. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We've got some really exciting things to go over with you here today. Today's going to be another feature highlight, much like our last one, a very new feature that is just coming out to our users. So we're going to be going over our feature, our worksheets, is what we're going to be going over here today. And we're going to talk a little bit here real quick about what that is and who that applies to. So, hey, Eduardo, how's it going?
Oh, good to see you, Rachel. I see a different background.
There's a different background. One of the many perks of working remotely is I can go visit family and still be able to travel in between. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's a
That's
little
awesome.
it's I do miss the office though, to be honest. We always miss like the comforts, of our own space. You can see I blur the background because it's a very random.
It
I thought you
it,
said
it
such
happens to
nice
me all
like
the time. It's good to be out, but also a good reminder how comfortable our offices
home
are.
is. Yeah, and like just like and I miss the background. I miss my like solid, like nice. I spent so much time decorating it. And I'm like, well, this is boring.
All right. So
But
yes, today
anywho, we've
we're going to be
got
talking about the
yeah,
worksheets, and
yes,
I think it is one of those features that is going to cause a wow factor in our crowd, and also
yes,
to those who are considering us. And it's one
yes,
more, suggestion how fast paced our development has been. And we're through this new feature, I think we are giving the flexibility again, always focusing on how to make our clients, veterinarians, to look good to their customers. So
yes,
with the nice reports, thorough information, detailed records that look nice. So those reports that look nice, it's pleasant, it shows the value of the service, hiring, the particular professional using that tool. And that's what we wanted to position our clients.
yeah, definitely. And like you said, I like the way you said it there. It's giving, it's emphasizing the value of the work that you do when you can present something that looks really nice to your clients, and also be able to record your information in an efficient manner as well, right? Because
Yes.
like there's nothing worse than being able to like, okay, I wrote my medical notes down, but now I need to give that to the client in something. So maybe I copy and paste it and I have to put it over in this other report outside of the invoice I just created for them, and trying to streamline that all in one. So
Yes.
I think, these worksheets, obviously this is draft one, as we always like to say. We've got a lot of big plans for them right now. I mean, Eduardo, what do you think? But I think that right now, I would say that the biggest people that could immediately use it: hospitals, ambulatory vets, sports medicine, general practice, I think are big hitters at the moment. But I
At
know
the
we have
moment.
some plans for some other worksheets as well that are currently in the works as well.
Yes, very well put. This is going to probably be a highlight for mobile vets and hospitals, clinics, especially sports medicine, surgical reports, and stuff like that. I think is going to be a tremendous asset. But there will be other sections in this report that will also benefit, dental work, some rehab training facilities can use that as well,
Yes.
and even reproduction, because we have already a plan to a draft that is going to bring soon an addendum to the report that can also benefit reproduction centers. And on the first round, mobile vets, sports medicine, hospitals, and clinics.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I
Another
think without
thing,
further
I'm
ado,
sorry to interrupt you, but another thing that very important that you mentioned is this is part of the impact. So we are trying
yes, and
to,
I knew I wrote it down too, and look at the thank
yes,
you.
the impact. It's where it's the cherry on top. So we are trying to declutter the system so we make more affordable solutions to the crowd. But if you're going to go
Yes.
more specific and you want to add more tools that will give you the flavor for your practice, then we are putting these options on the side. So this new custom report is built through the impact package, I should say.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for the reminder. Well, I think without further ado, I think we should show some examples. I think
Yes, let's
that's
work on that.
as always, seeing is believing, right?
It's done.
All right. Well, I know that we have some, obviously this is draft one and we have some different workflows, but where should users go to start this process right now? Where is the best place?
There will be 3 moments in Wise Option they can start a worksheet or this custom report that we are calling worksheets. It can be from a patient file, it can be from a hospital record, or any regular invoice. If you open an invoice, could be an ambulatory invoice or an outpatient invoice, you could also start from there. I will go in this demo today from the invoice because I would like to show the relationship between the report and the charges, because from the report you can also add charges to the invoice, and those will go hand in hand. You're going to have the charge that goes in the statement, but you also have the report, and from one or the other you can place your charges for what's being performed.
Yes.
The first thing I'm going to do is then start patient file. I'm going to randomly select any patient here.
Oh,
we usually go for the first ones on the list.
Always, yeah. Dig down a little bit this time.
Yeah, this time I'm going to try one down the road here. Let's try Roseanne.
Well, and you know what? I think the best one, though, and I can't believe we didn't mention this again, this is available on all 3 applications, not just the desktop app, but the web and mobile application.
Yeah, one of the things we're going to show later down the road here on this demo, and we're trying to give you guys an idea about what it is, so you don't have to watch the entire video to see the whole thing. But if you want to stick with us so you can see us implementing, I hope later we can put a description on the recording about the minutes where you can find each one of those. But yes, it is the advantages that Wise Option being a remote desktop web application and mobile app application. In one of those, you will be able to create, access, generate, and review those reports, those worksheets from any platform. Because with your iPad, you're going to be able to ask them to sign the report with their finger and register the report right there, which is
okay. We're giving too much away.
All right, let's go with Split. Is this a good name?
Yep, that works. Split.
All right.
He's my horse.
So I'm the doctor. Let's say that I'm going to do a pre-purchase exam. I am at the farm, so I'm in my truck, and I'm going to do an ambulatory invoice. Just open my regular invoice, Dr. Edwards, and trainer. It's you, Rachel. So I'm at your facility.
It is.
Okay.
It is. Thank you.
Regular hours, invoice going to you. Here's the regular process where in Wise Option we start an invoice. And here it is. As soon as I'm in, if you do have the impact module, the impact package in your system, the worksheet modules, you're going to find this button on your invoice properties. And that's the place. I'm going to call your attention that, look, this invoice, I will intentionally start this invoice with a 0 charge. And if this works well, remember, this is a trial, so possible glitches. But what happens if all goes well in my demo here, as soon as I finish my report and I come back to this invoice, my charges should be here magically as well. And sure enough, patient file, create worksheet. I want to, in my invoice, create a worksheet. In this sense of properties here, there are a couple of things that I want to emphasize here. The system is going to record, of course, if it was yesterday, 2 days ago, we still have the date to change. Who's the doctor? Who's performing the exams? And here we are coming with a couple of suggestions that the system brings out of the box. For example, we have one for lab, purchase exam, radiograph, and a couple of other ones that we were testing. But for that matter, what happens is that you can customize your own worksheets. And once you customize, you will select the different sections in the report you would like to present in the worksheet. I would, of course, start with the cover and the back. If it is just a regular imaging, I would go with imaging. Or if it is something different, a more thorough physical exam. Purchase exam will have all of that. As we progress, this is the first release of the worksheet project. And here we only have these sections. We're going to add more sections here. We're going to have,
Yes.
out of the bat, I can tell you that we have one for cardio, ophthalmo, one for repro, one for dental.
Yep.
So those are the 4 out of my mind here that you out of my head here that you can remember right off bat what's going to be there. But in my case here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to intentionally uncheck the custom, and I'm going to stick with my predefined pre-purchase exam. I could do the same and select all the fields. It's exactly the same. I have all the flexibility to do either or do one way or the other. But once I have that done, I just simply start my worksheet. And at this moment, it is creating a link between the worksheet and that particular invoice that's currently open. So sure enough, what happens is it's bringing the seller, it's repeating the name because, Rachel, you are here presenting as
I am.
But I could at the time say, okay, I'm going to use a different customer as the purchaser. You could do your search by using the search icon here on the bottom, or I'm going to just pick one here by chance and change that name. You don't have to fill the data because it is already merging from the database. Likewise, the information is coming from the patient side. And here you have the opportunity to start adding your first images. Because this goes with the 3 different platforms, I could very well, with my phone, take picture on site, add that picture to the patient's history, and from there, automatically add the picture to the report.
You know what? I'll do you one cooler step. In a real life scenario, you have someone else with a phone and someone else with this tablet that's filling this out, and you ask them, hey, go take a picture of this and upload this to the horse's file, because when I get to this section, I need to be able to fill this out. So they can upload it, and because it's in the cloud, then you can come right here and it'll be there for you to select and submit.
I love it. You're making the life for the vet. Technicians are making the life for the vet easier, expediting the process, logistics. It's time savings. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I click on the upload. I don't have any image for this patient for that matter. So I'm going to add an image.
I forgot about that. Yep.
That's okay. But what happens here is that I'm going for my library. If I were using here the phone, another option would be exactly the camera. So I could take the picture from this moment. I'm just going to pick one here. I'm going to say mare and foal. I need to enter a category here. I'm going to say just a picture. It's an important step. Mare and foal.
Don't ask me to double check spelling because I won't do it.
Thank you. That helps. Now I have the image in the patient file. So what we are trying to do here is to save you the step to leave the report, go to the patient file and add the image there. So we are cutting the chase here and we are giving you the patient images right on the worksheet, so you can do that. Add your image and you go there, the image is in the report. Nice on the bottom. Not only that, you can have some options here. If you look down there, we have some icons here on the bottom. And this text, actually, it's not only text. You can put your text. We're going to give you some tools. Let's say that I'm adding a particular.
I think it's an arrow.
Yes.
Yeah, you just
You're going to point an arrow here to the ear. It's a little dark. I cannot see this well. I go down here. I change the color to red. I make it thicker, so it's more prominent. I like it. Okay. I can add some texts. I can put my text over here.
Ear.
Yeah, I'm just going to say I barely can see text. Do you see that I barely can see? So I can go just here, change the color, put white. and it's now easy to read. I can drag this thing, position. Once I'm done with my changes, but not only that, I also have the option to do freehand. If I want to mark some laceration, some cuts, scars, or markings, I can draw them just right there on the spot, change my tools, keep working with them, put some comments, notes. Once I'm done, I just save, and that saves, and it sticks with the report. So you can work with the image just nicely like that.
The pre-purchase exam is going well. We have an ear so far, so I think it's going pretty well.
That's true. Now, across here on the top, you're going to see the different sections we were talking about. So the first tab is for the cover. On the second tab, I'm going to start actually doing a couple of things here. Well, Rachel, I'm going to need your help. So this part here. So
all right.
there are some positions here I'm going to sell. I'm going to need your help pretty much, determining what is what. But as far as the data and the user interface, if you see the select, that means text box.
Yeah, and that means you click on it.
Once you have a text box, and if you just click, it's going to bring you default suggestions, so you don't have to type. Yep. Yet, if you want to change, or if you don't have, it's going to come up with a place where you can enter your own texts. But not only that, the text that we are using are what we have in Wise Option, the friendly editors. So if you create and you store in advance your most frequently strings, you can consume those strings in your reports, which is going to decrease a lot the time typing.
Yes, definitely. And it's also good to note too, like for example, where you clicked on history provided by seller, when you click select, it did default to seller because that's most common when doing a pre-purchase, is that the seller's the one that's giving you the history on that. But if that was different, if you click on the value again, it will bring up that text box that Eduardo was just showing on the other field. So now you can edit and say, no, it wasn't the seller, it was the purchaser that was providing me this history, or it was the boarding agent, whatever. You can change that text there. For you. So yes, Wise Option is going to give you some just default text for a lot of these fields, help things go quicker. However, you can still change that. And if we don't have any default text, then it just comes up here. You use your friendly editor, or you just free type a text there.
I'm not paying attention to the content, but I just would like to show how easily it is to pick any information from the user-friendly editor. And you could add those very, instantly to your again,
Yep.
And
really easy to changes.
Keep adding your stuff and filling. Now here at this point, you could collect the signature. So you're going to have the printed name, which here, you just type, and you're going to just type the name. I'm going to say my name. And if I am using the iPad and I click on the signature, you can give and the person is going to just sign on spot, and you save the signature, and that signature goes to the pad. If you don't have that feature, not a problem. You finish this without the signature, put on paper, and let them sign on the paper instead. Okay, so this completes the part here on the history disclosure. So let's start a couple of other things. So all the fields here will sometimes be, regular numbers. Other times will be text box. I recommend you trying each one different section, but basically the process is the same. You can use decimal points. You can use the touch on the screen, and you go. Or heart rate. In that case, I'm going to say 38, and you go. And you can keep entering the numbers, assuming that you are using an iPad. So we made it, cross-platform exactly. Body score, you can use different. And the same, like, as you can see, I'm again using my default text here. This is not a good example. I think I'm going for long ones. Let's stick like that. But the whole thing goes in that way. You have additional fill. I'm pushing faster here because I'm so anxious to show the next one.
Yeah.
The next tab. I think this one here for lameness exam is going to be
Yeah.
a game changer.
Yeah.
Now here I'm going to move up.
So I love the hoof. So first, I think we have to start with the images of the hoof, because just like Eduardo was showing on the image that he uploaded of the horse or horses, again, you have that T icon to add text and to draw as well. So if you notice maybe an abscess on the foot or wanted to mark where they tested positive to hoof testers, really easy to make those notations. And to actually have that saved there. So really nice, easy drawing. And then from each, you can actually mark, and as you click on each of those values there, exam, you just mark no significant findings or any certain findings there, maybe a hoof wall crack or a sensitive sole, etc. You can make your selections there.
So
and
help me with some here, if you would, please.
No significant findings on that one. So first, second option. Click on shoe and you can just say barefoot. Second option, pad, there's no pad, so we can just not put anything. There's nothing there. They're barefoot. Wear, you just say normal or moderate. And then cycle, mild, that's fine. And then cycle, you can say, let's see here, we're going to do mid-cycle. Okay. Perfect. So you can make those selections for all the other feet as well, or you can just leave it obviously as it is. And then you have the general confirmation and comment section below. So you can make additional notes about anything regarding the limbs.
Of course, that doesn't make sense, but I love using the friendly editor.
Yes. And then below we have the exam and motion section. So you'll notice there's obviously a lot of abbreviations. I think most vets and techs understand the abbreviations, but just in case, and it comes in handy for later, maybe you have a technician that's just starting out, or even whenever you're, working with technicians that are just starting, or even giving this to an owner to look at, they may not immediately know what these words mean or these numbers even. So if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll actually notice that there is a legend at the bottom. So if we scroll all the way to the bottom, there's actually a legend. So left front, left hind, RC, right circle, left circle, flat ground, hard ground, soft ground, and even a lameness scale as well. So the scale for lameness and what each number really equates to is also at the bottom as well. So all Eduardo is doing is just obviously filling out a value for each one of those conditions there. So this one goes pretty quick. And then
I like the color code because
it draws attention.
Yes. And if you do one wrong, you just click, you can click on a different number.
Yes.
And if I didn't mean to choose this one, you click on the number again and it goes away.
Yes. Yep. And then as you scroll down, the next section I believe is flexions. So obviously then we have all the other sections there as well. And then
but I think this one is a little bit more complex because if not this one. Okay.
No, not this one here. It's all the next section with flexions. So the next section would be flexions. This one gets a little bit more complex. Of course, we know that you're not going to perform, you may not, perform a flexion of every single area on one limb. So when you make your selection, you'll notice it actually gives you a menu. And so you select this was the left front, but what part did you flex? Distal, if we go to distal, the first option there, and then it's distal, and then we're going to select one, maybe a slight, there we go. So then it fills in for you. Okay, so you flex left front distal and valued it as 1. Because if you're not going to, maybe your set flexions, are not every single one. You can just select what you did flex, and then obviously assign the value to it. So every time you click, it's going to give you that menu and ask you which flexion you did.
One more?
So upper and 0. Found lameness. Okay, perfect. And then like I said, if you scroll to the very bottom, we have a legend and a lameness scale there as well. So really easy, great reference.
Okay. this section here, I was so anxious to come because I thought this is so
I
cool.
know.
And
I love
we
this
did
section.
such a thorough work for reproduction guys. And I feel in that with the sport medicine doctors. I think this
Uh-huh.
is giving me the warm feeling we are going that direction a
Yeah.
little bit as well.
Yes. Well, the next section I think we have is imaging. So this one's a little simpler in comparison, right? So pretty standard. If imaging is available, if it's been reviewed, and then with those, if there were any findings, so radiographic findings, if there was any findings, and then of course you can write your comments there about the findings. There below as well. And then same thing, of course, for ultrasound findings. And I love the colors too. I'm a color person. So like I appreciate it. It draws your attention really to where it needs to be.
Yeah. That easily. Okay. I'm green. I'm good. So
Right.
let's check the things that it stands out. And again, the comments are pretty much standard. You could type or use your friendly editors.
Yes.
Then I'm going to jump the lab and I'm going to come back here later. Let me go because it's tied into the images. And guess what? I think that images should be between these two because I'm doing imaging and then I have lab. Well, that's not a problem. I go to my gear and I just grab my other images and I put right up there. I save. So now I have my images and the other images. It's natural flow. So you can reorder, resort your report to your like. It gives a lot of flexibility. Another thing that I like about the images, some doctors go crazy with the image because they're very thorough academics and they like to show every single different angle of the illness. Other ones just go for the superficial, what the owner needs to know. So we gave you the chance to customize how many images, so the distribution on the page. So imagine the rows and columns. You can go as many as 9 images per page. So you could go that far, 3 by 3. And that's what's going to do. It's going to now give you the chance to put 9 images on this page, and you could keep adding more pages if needed.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. But the idea is that here again, if you go, I'm going to add one more image to the patient list. Let me go here I think I have one shoe, a fake shoe here. I'm going to call this one radiograph. I'm just going to say the word shoe. Save. Now that I have the shoe in the patient file, I submit and the image is there. I can say which one it is.
Yep, you say foot.
Oh, it's the last one. I was looking for it. Okay.
There you go. I like it.
So the point is that it is so flexible, so easy. And again, you just click on the T, same idea. You can customize the images and off you go. Now, next session, the lab. Here in the lab, we are making this to talk to Zoetis and IDEX. So we have our integrations. And as soon as you enter your charge codes, because here you enter the charges, this is going to talk to the machines and you can place the charges and have the machine ready to receive the exam right on the spot as well. Because of the lab integration, I will not dive deep on this one, but pretty much you place the charge, you make your comments, and the machine lights up. Here, it's going to be hard for me to demonstrate that. Yeah. Next one is the invoice itself, and that's the one that's going to make me nervous here, because from here, I could use my macros, I could use the task finder, I could use our digital circle sheets, which doctors love so much. They put the codes, they enter the charges, they just check whatever they're doing, submit, and boom.
You're gonna wince. Yeah, I mean, this is just like I said, being able to easily get from A to B really quickly and not have to, bounce back and forth and go, oh, I got to
Yes.
close something or I got to minimize this to go back to
Yes.
it. And it's just all be in one place.
And you know what? I'm joking here about the nervousness, but I'm so proud of our team because this is such a heavy project to make. And of course, this guys, you remember, it's working good. And of course, that I tried before showing this to you here today. But the point is, if you find any problem, let us know. We're going to have several adjustments along the way. But as soon as I finish this, and I'm anxious to show, because here's the final page where the doctor chooses the date and puts the name. If it is in the iPad, the doctor can come here and sign as well and make his final adjustments and finally save. And when I save my worksheet, the images are being uploaded with my notes, everything. But here, guess what? My invoice is empty. No more. So all the charges that you did on the worksheet, I put in place. There's a link between the two of them. And last but not least, if I go back to the patient and I look into the patient history, later that patient returns, you are going to see the notations and the worksheets will be in the list. So we are putting all together. It doesn't matter if it is reproduction, surgery, hospital, everything comes together into the patient history so doctors can make their assessment. The worksheet is here, the two images that I added. If I click on this PDF icon, it's going to show me the report. But not only that, in Wise Option, you will be able to attach this to an email and send as an attachment to your customer. You can send the e-billing, you can share the patient history, and you can send the report as a PDF attachment. What I like, it's the professional look that brings to the end, because you're going to have your logo. All the questions were answered on the fly. And if you page this report through, you're going to see all the signature, all the findings, all the markings that you put. I like the way our team did, because instead of showing all the numbers, it's showing only the final results of the findings with the color code, which is very easy for your eyes to catch. It's going to have all the findings, all the notes. And of course, you're going to find all the charges for your invoices, your signature at the end. So it's a beautiful piece of work that you're going to be proud to show your customers, your loyalty, what they work with you. And every time you come on the invoice and you open that invoice, if this button is orange, means that you have a worksheet attached to that invoice. Likewise, you could go back to the patient, and in the patient advanced menus, you could take a look at the worksheet log for that patient, and you're going to see the history of worksheet. If the invoice is still pending, you can edit the worksheet and invoice, but if the invoice is closed, the worksheet will be locked, because the two of them go hand in hand. And here is on this. They say they don't listen.
They listen.
They don't listen.
Oh, they do.
But the PDF button is going to allow you to view the report like I showed you, but also attach as an email that's going to go with your form letters. You just create the cover and attach the report, and off it goes. So yeah, I think this is what I wanted to show.
Well, I think it's amazing, and I'm so excited for our users to start using it. And like you said, draft one, it's never going to be perfect, and we're already still working on several other sheets, but we didn't want to keep it to ourselves and wait till we had all of the sheets out before to start giving users a chance to actually utilize it. Because as you and I both know, there's what's ideal, and then there's what's in practice, and the two very rarely ever meet up. So undoubtedly, there's going to be many really great suggestions and changes that are going to be made from these. So I'm very excited to see some of those, and it never ceases to amaze me what our users come up with and solutions that they find, for their own workflow, and to try and make things be expedited as much as possible. And at the end of the day, always the benefit of the patient and the client.
And the more our users utilize those modules and the portions of new features, that's where things get better and better. So we are totally open to your suggestions. Again, it could be another piece. I am a genius. I created this. No, it came from a user like you. And we are just here to listen to your suggestions, your ideas, so we can practice them. Any improvement that we can do in this new package, please let us know. It's a piece that I think that in the entire is going to make Wise Options shine even more. But most important is going to make our clients shine even more with their customers.
Most definitely. Well, I think we covered a lot, and I'm really excited to see obviously the upcoming changes there as well. And I think we got some more exciting stuff coming up here pretty shortly too. But I'll leave it at that. We already made this very long, but I think with a lot of really great content. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And thank you so much for joining us today.
See you next time.
See you soon.